Okay. Good morning, everyone. I am excited to be joining you for another virtual book club. We are excited. I'm Mayor Hardie Davis, and I'm excited to have with us our author for this weekend, Miss
Hello.
Felicia Lee. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Our virtual book clubs hope to bring children, their parents, new and up and coming authors into a conversation where we are exposed to not only new stories, new adventures, and new characters, but we get an opportunity to engage around our love for reading and how important it is to engage young people so that they too can develop a thirst for reading, which enhances their learning. So, again, we're excited about this month's virtual book club and the book that we'll be sharing today. You can stay up to date on our upcoming book club dates by visiting engageaugusta.com. As I've said before, we will be donating copies of every book that we read to Augusta libraries and to our schools. And our book for the month of August is I Can Be by Miss Felicia Lee. Felicia, how are you this morning?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope everyone that's joining is doing wonderful as well.
Outstanding. We're looking forward to you sharing the book with us. I want to share just your brief portion of your bio. Ms. Lee is an author from Elberton, Georgia. As a child, she would often write to pass time and found a love for writing stories after completing a middle school homework assignment. I remember those days. Thank goodness I'm beyond that at this point. Her career has led her to residential and commercial property management, but she continued to write and find enjoyment in creating stories for children. Ms. Lee's first book was released in May of 2017 and has received 3 book awards to include a Children's Book Award, a Cultural Diversity Award, and her second release, Audrey Lost Her Shoe, has also been an award-winning book as well for its cover design. Felicia has presented at children's literature conferences for Kennesaw State University and the school up there in Athens, the University of Georgia. Her presentations address the need for positive representation and diversity in children's books. And that's why we are excited to have her joining us on this morning. Themes that are found in her stories and schools, where she talks about the positive impact and the representation of diversity. And so, with that, I ask you this question, Ms. Lee: what inspired you to write this particular story?
Well, one day one evening, it was just after work, I was just thinking about different career options for myself. And it started as a poem. And I've always enjoyed writing and rhyme. And I just started going, I can be this, I can be that. And it just developed from there. And as I was writing, once I realized, okay, this would be a great story, I started seeing these images of how I wanted the story to flow.
Wonderful. Well, I'm excited about that. We're looking forward to you sharing your book with not only myself, but the parents of these children and the students themselves. And with that, I'll turn it over to you so that you can share with us I Can Be by Miss Felicia Lee.
Okay, and thank you guys again for joining. I am going to start. I'm going to share the screen here. And can everyone see this? Okay, so I Can Be, again, this was my first release. It is a rhyming book about various occupations, and I'm going to share some of this book with you. I can be. I can be an astronaut and land on Mars. I can be a pilot and fly among stars. I can be a chef and learn how to cook. I can be an author and write comic books. I can be a dentist and fix broken teeth. I can be a swimmer and see what's beneath. I can be a teacher and read to boys and girls. I can be the president of the free world. There's so much in the world that I can be, but it all starts with you and me. We have to stay in school and get good grades and make sure we don't misbehave. Look in the mirror and say with me, I can be whatever I want to be. All right, so that was just a short, that wasn't the book in its entirety. That was some of the book, but yes, it's a rhyming book about various occupations. I really enjoyed creating that story along the way and working with my illustrator to create the images. So I really enjoyed writing that story.
Not only did I enjoy hearing the story, but I enjoyed the artwork that's in there.
Thank
What a fantastic job. I know the images, they jump off the pages.
you.
I'm sure people will say the same. Uh, what what inspired you to write this particular book? I know you've got a love for writing stories since middle school, but as you were inspired to write this, talk about that for just a moment, beyond what you've already shared. The writing process. Talk about that as well. What's so appealing about the writing process?
Well, I've always been very, very creative. I've always had a big imagination, like even from childhood, I've always had a big imagination, always had that creative touch to me. But with I Can Be, when I got to the illustrations of the book, I wanted diversity and representation. And, you know, diversity is more than race. I wanted diversity in the career choices that were represented, illustrated in the book. You know, I have a college degree. I graduated from Augusta State University, but you know, that may not be everyone's way. We need plumbers just like we need judges. So I wanted a mixture of things highlighted in the book. And like I say, that creative part and that writing process, the hardest part for me was making sure my illustrator understood my vision. Because you know, when you're writing, like if I say, you know, I want a brown skinned girl with two afro puffs, you automatically see an image. Well, your image may not be what I see. So when you bring it back to me, I'm like, no, that's not quite what I had in mind. So that was I don't even want to say hard, but the most challenging part is making sure my illustrator understood my vision and making sure that I maintained that creative control in the book and making sure the images were what I wanted them to be.
Mm. That's fantastic. Uh, I really like what you've said in terms of having a visual image of not only your writing, but the art that would go with that, so that it would also further emphasize the story that you're sharing of IB.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give aspiring writers?
You know what? Just believe in yourself enough to keep going. Just believe in yourself. It is really, really easy to get caught up in comparing your journey to someone else's. You know, social media is a big thing. You think someone is really, really doing well and you're comparing and you don't even realize it, but just believe in yourself, believe in your dream, and believe in your ability to complete that to the end. You know, don't just keep starting stuff, you know, complete it. Just keep going. It's going to be frustrating. It's supposed to be frustrating, but just keep going and believe in your work.
Incredible. I really appreciate that. You know, I've talked to so many authors over the last several months. They've all had a similar passion for writing, but also making a difference, a positive difference in the lives of young people,
Mm-hmm.
quite frankly, their parents who would read to their children as well. How important is it for parents to read to their children at an early age and encourage them readers?
Oh, it's very important to model that behavior, not only to read to children, but for them to see you reading. And it doesn't have to be a book. It can be a magazine. Well, I don't know if they do news, but well, they just need to see you reading. You want to model that behavior. It can be as simple as when you're in a grocery store, reading the labels. Because most people think reading is just picking up a book. Well, that may not be attractive to a child, but there are other things you can do to encourage the love of reading in children besides just picking up a book. So you can make it, you have to make it creative. You have to make it fun. And there are so many other ways, but it really starts with modeling that love for reading in front of the child.
Outstanding. And you, again, I Can Be, May 2017. How long did it take you to not only write, but decide on the artwork for each of the pages in the book?
Writing the story, because it kind of flowed kind of like a poem, the writing part wasn't that hard. The hardest, the longest part was the illustrations. And what I did was for each line in the book, like I can be an astronaut. I knew what I wanted it to look like. So I had to write all of that out. And the details are very important when you're talking about picture books, because what you can't say in writing, because you don't want it to be too wordy, depending on the age, what you can't say in writing, you can say in the details of the illustration. So it probably, how long did it take me? Because I kept going back and forth with my illustrations. Had I just dedicated the time to just do it, maybe 2 weeks to just get it out, because everything you see in the picture book, it has to be written out so you can give to the illustrator, like every detail, whether it's a star in the right corner, this shade of red. So it can be really, really detailed.
Wow. Yeah, it sounds like a lot has gone into this work. I'm excited to have you share it with us on this morning. Where can individuals and our parents purchase copies of your book?
If you want a signed copy, you can purchase it from my website, which is authorfelicialee.com. It is also available on Amazon. Walmart carries the book online, as well as Target.
Wonderful. Amazon, Walmart, Target, and have your own website where they can purchase signed copies of it as well. We look forward to sharing copies of your book again at the schools and the library. Once again, we're excited to have joining us today author Felicia Lee. What an incredible story. And I'll give you a moment with closing comments, Ms. Lee, for this month's AIR's Virtual Book Club.
Just, again, thank you guys for tuning in and watching this. Thank you again for having me, Mayor Davis. Just believe in yourself, believe in your work, never stop believing in you. And you know what? Surround yourself with people that also believe in you. And thank you again.
You're welcome. And congratulations. We look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lee.